I'm John Green, and welcome to Crash Course Drama. Today, we're going to be taking a look at A Streetcar Named Desire. Today, there will be 4 other YouTubers collaborating with me. So for this part of the video, I'm just going to introduce you to the drama and what it's all about. There is 4 main characters: Stella, Stanley, Blanche, and Mitch. First, there's Blanche Dubois. Blanche Dubois was kicked out of her hometown, and she is moving in with her sister, Stella. And this is in the New Orleans area. She was kicked out of her small town rural area. She has no money, and she's in her 30s, and she has nowhere to go. This wouldn't be so much of a problem if Blanche Dubois wasn't crazy. Because she is, she causes quite the stir. Stanley doesn't like her very much. Mitch falls in love with her, and Stella is stuck in the middle, and she really doesn't know what to do. Now, I'm not going to explain anymore. I'll leave that to the rest.
Hey Vsauce, Michael here, and who are the characters? Starting with Blanche, a hometown girl thrown out of her hometown to move in with her sister in New Orleans. Her sister, Stella, a southern belle, strong and independent, but also submissive to her husband's will. Her husband, Stanley, a World War II vet, abusive and a drunkard, often plays poker with his friend Mitch, an old army buddy. But he is more sensitive than Stanley and courts Blanche. Eunice, Stella's neighbor, it represents the low class, also provides sanctuary for Stella when she's in need. And she is also often abused by her husband.
Alright, boys and girls, we got a setting to do, alright? So it's a streetcar named Desire. It's in New Orleans, it's hot, it's stuffy, it's humid, you know, down in the bayou. It takes place after World War II. And, you know, it's in like the, I don't know, the early 50s, mid 50s, I don't know, 1955 or something. Or 1948, I don't know. And most of the play takes place in this house. It's like really dinky, his apartment. And it was shared with an upstairs neighbor. Her name's Eunice. She's always fighting with her husband. And anyways, split the room in half. You got a bedroom. It's like I got like these squeaky baseboards and whatnot. Got a curtain separating it between that and the kitchen. And anyways, the kitchen's got this table. And I don't know, it's just so small in that room that like if it gets heated in there, you don't even need a microwave or anything. Anyways, you know, just got this bathroom that Blanche is in the whole time. Stanley can't even get into it, gets mad all the time. I don't know. Anyways, that's pretty much the setting, kids.
What we do here is go back.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Bad Unboxing. Let's get this thing started. Money shot. Let's see what we got. We got some Pokemon cards. We got some M&Ms. Would you look at that? A single piece of paper that says plot. Let's talk about the plot. So first, Blanche Dubois moves to Louisiana with her sister. She says that she's taking a leave of absence whenever she's teaching. They come to find out later that this is not true, but they believe her at first. Stella's husband, Stanley, does not like Blanche Dubois. He and her do not get along from the very beginning, and it doesn't get much better. Later on, Blanche meets Mitch, who is one of Stanley's army buddies at one of his nightly poker sessions. After their meeting and after their talking, Stanley gets very, very angry because he's interrupted multiple times during his poker game. In a drunken rage, he hits his wife Stella in the face. Blanche is dumbfounded. She has no idea why she wouldn't leave him after such a thing happened. But she just doesn't understand. After this, everybody starts to find out about Blanche's lies. After all the problems she causes, they start to sense that something about her isn't right. But they're not sure what it is. Later, they find out that Blanche didn't take a leave of absence from her school, and she actually was fired from her teaching position because she was taking part of some inappropriate activity with an underage student. They find out later that Blanche is hiding a lot of things from them, but the only one who's really taking any action on it is Stanley. Later on, Stanley eventually tells Blanche that Stella's having a baby, and she's extremely excited for her sister, but she's not real sure what to do. Later on, he tells her what's going on, and Stella starts to have her first labor cramps. So she leaves. She leaves to go to the hospital to birth her baby, and Blanche is at the house with Stanley alone. Later on, Stanley, in another drunken rage, attempts to rape Blanche Dubois. She grabs a bottle, breaks it off, and tries to hit him with it, but it's no good. He rapes her. After this, things start to fall apart very quickly. Stanley is never accused of his rape. He never gets in trouble. Blanche is accused for just being crazy. Stella believes Stanley. And eventually, Blanche is taken away by a doctor because of her craziness. It becomes very obvious at the end of the story that Blanche has mental issues, but they aren't acted upon until the end.
Welcome, goofers and gaffers, to a new episode of H3 Productions. We got some good goofs, spoofs, and all the gaffs you need lined up right here, along with some spicy memes. We're going to talk about some themes. We're going to start with romance, love, and lust. Particularly, Blanche and Mitch. Mitch is like what I like to call one of them thick boys. Nothing wrong with a thick boy like that. Great. You know what? He's so thick, Blanche can't keep her hands off of him. Real lustful. Moving on, we got mental illness. Blanche, she got a screw loose. Something's wrong up there. That's all I gotta say about mental illness. Moving on to fantasy versus reality. Back to Blanche and Mitch. Remember? Mitch? Thick boy? When they're together, Blanche refuses to step out in the light. Why? Light represents the reality. She doesn't want to be in reality. She lives in her fantasy world where she's rich and famous. And then finally, drunkenness. Drunkenness? Here we go with Blanche again. Neighborly Blanche, drunk always, along with Stanley, alcoholic. Stanley, remember, not the thick boy.
Alright guys, we're back with another Running on Empty drama review. So today we have a Streetcar Named Desire. And there's many things that can be learned from this drama. So one thing that we can easily be learned from it is what alcoholism can do to families and relationships. So in the drama, Stanley is just a drunkard, you know, he kind of gets home from work and, you know, either goes to the bar with his buddies and drinks, or he drinks and plays poker, and that eventually winds up to him actually hitting his wife. And this affects most of the characters throughout the story, and you can obviously see that it happened before too. Another thing that we can look at is with the character Blanche. She tends to live in her own fantasy. She thinks that she is like, I guess, like a high roller, kind of like Las Vegas Strip type of wife. You know, you can just wear anything you want, buy anything you want. But really, in reality, she's penniless. Like, she has nothing. And so the thing that can be learned from that is, like, just like people's egos can always not be like what they are in real life, or maybe you can't judge a book by its cover. And that can go both ways, you know. In Blanche's case, you know, you have somebody who's of high, you know, authority or something like that, but really they're nothing. Or maybe you have somebody that seems to be nothing, but really, you know, they're just like up there in social status. If I had to rate this drama, I would give it probably a 7.5, because it's not a 7, but it's not an 8, but it's in between. So 7.5, and that's what I would rate and kind of review on the drama A Streetcar Named Desire. Y'all have a nice day.